Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Now this video will be a slightly negative one because in this video I'll be covering the sad state of GPU options for budget conscious buyers. Now this is not a scripted video. I have some points written on my tablet, so I'll be just reading off it and expanding on some of the points. And by the way, if you're new to the channel, then please consider subscribing. So without any further ado, let's start the video. Now, in the desktop segment, the budget, value for money gaming graphics cards are pretty much just gone. There are very few options, if any. And like I remember a couple of years ago only seeing the GTX 1650 Super for about 18,000 rupees on MD computers, and the GTX 1060 3 gigabytes for about 12,500 rupees. The RX 570, the legendary RX 570 8 gigabytes version for 15,000 rupees. Now in 2022, these GPU options are either just not available or they are crazy expensive. In fact, more than double the price. Now, what has led to this situation, it is difficult to say, and I'm not even interested in discussing it because people are just playing the blame game. Some people are blaming the mining as a result, the scalping. Some people are saying the chip shortage, which is genuinely an issue. And in this bad situations, these manufacturers are also taking advantage of it and releasing terrible products for the customers, because the customers will just buy anything at this point. And the latest culprit of this anti-customer tactic is AMD Radeon. So probably by now, if you follow the PC industry, you have already heard about the absolute abomination, which is the Radeon RX 6500 XT. Hardware Unboxed, Linus Tech Tips, then you've got Gamers Nexus, and everybody has already covered this GPU in great details, and I've pretty much shown how trash of a GPU release it is. It really is, right? Now, it is not even able to match GPU, graphics performance from couple of years back. In fact, 3 years back. Now, all that's old news at this point, but why is this relevant to my audience? See, my audience is mostly interested in, in laptops, in portable technology rather than desktops. But this is why this GPU release is very much relevant to you people. You see, the Radeon RX 6500 XT, the die, the Navi 24 die on which this GPU is based on, is actually meant for laptops. So it is going to be the Radeon RX 6500M, which is going to be a successor to the quite capable RX 5500M that is currently available in certain laptops like the MSI Bravo 15, the HP Victus. So this is where it is quite a bit relevant to you people. That's because the performance of the 6500 XT, if you go by that, then the performance of the 6500M will also not really be that good. So those who are not into laptops, they might not know, but in the laptop segment, the options for budget value for money gaming laptop GPUs is very less. It's the GTX 1650, the GTX 650 Ti, which are basically the same GPUs, and you've got the RX 5500M. Now, some might say that the RTX 3050 is available, but to be honest, if you want to get an equivalent RTX 3050 laptop, so if you are jumping from a GTX 650 variant to an RTX 3050 variant of the same laptop, there's a price jump of about 7,000 rupees at the minimum. That too when on sale, so that's about $100. And if there is no sale, it can go up to 10,000, 12,000, even 15,000 rupees. So the RTX 3050, in my opinion, is not a price to price upgrade over the GTX 650. It's more of a price segment shift, right? So I don't consider the RTX 3050 to be a complete successor to the 1650 because the price segment is different. This is this so in this situation, the RX 5500M was a pretty compelling option because the performance of the 5500M is quite a bit better than the GTX 650, but at the same time it came at the same price level in the same price segment as the GTX 650. So the RX 5500M is a genuinely good option to go for. And the RX 5500M is also quite an old GPU at this point. It's going to be 3 years old in 2022, and it also has 4 gigabytes of VRAM. As well, Nvidia is going to come up with a really crap and disgusting GPU, which is the RTX 2050. It's probably going to cost more than 650 laptops in India, and also the performance of the RTX 2050 is barely any better than the GTX 650 Ti. In fact, the RTX 2050's raw performance is less than the Radeon RX 5300M. So, God help us budget gamers. But anyways, so as I said, I was really hyped for the 6500M, expecting it to provide performance similar to an RTX 3050 while matching the price segment of the RX 5500M. However, When AMD revealed its specs, I was skeptical. Mind you, the reviews of the RX 6500 XT was not out yet. However, I straight up compared the 5500 XT to the 6500 XT and the 5500M to the 6500M, and I was shocked to see that the overall specs were simply better with the older GPUs. So I even dropped one comment on one of Hardware Unboxed videos, being skeptical on this topic. And I was just hoping that the higher clock speeds, the infinity cache, and the RDNA2 architecture will help minimize the gap and will help the 6500 XT and similarly the 6500M to pull ahead of the RX 5500M. Alas, how wrong was I? The reviews of the 6500 XT came out and it showed how awful GPU it was. It shattered my hopes basically. And since the 6500M and the 6500 XT are basically the same GPU, you know what I'm talking about. The 6500M is also probably going to be slower or just at the maximum be able to match the 5500M, and most of the time it may be actually slower. So yeah, this really disappointed me and shattered my hopes for a really good value for money budget GPU option for 2022. But looks like this is also gone. And actually the 6500M will be even worse. Let me tell you why. So the biggest disappointing spec reveal of the RX 6500 XT, and as a result similarly with the 6500M, is that both of these GPUs lack any sort of H.264 hardware encoding support, which basically every older card supports. Basically, it's been years and years since GPUs support hardware encoding, but alas, these two GPUs, they don't support hardware encoding. And in fact, I was little bit skeptical. Maybe AMD has provided the wrong specs on their website. Maybe I'm wrong, or maybe there's a typo or something. But then Hardware Unboxed completely revealed that they actually don't support any sort of hardware acceleration for video encoding. So this is actually a seriously big drawback for laptop users where resources are very limited. So imagine if you're going to stream, you're going to record, you're going to have to rely on the CPU to do the encoding for you in software, which will seriously drop your performance, your gaming performance, your overall system performance, because it's quite a demanding task. And the GPU not being able to utilize itself in these types of encoding applications is a serious drawback for these two GPUs. In fact, the 5500M and 5500 XT, they have hardware encoding support, and as a result they perform way better. They will perform way better in terms of video editing, video rendering performance, or your streaming and stuff like that. So it's a seriously big drawback. And even if the 6500M will be able to match the 5500M when it comes to the performance of the in gaming performance, I seriously cannot recommend the 6500M laptops to most people because of this particular drawback. This lack of hardware encoding support is a huge deal breaker for me and for many people. I cannot say what is the redeeming factor of the RX 6500M, the going to be RX 6500M. I don't know. In fact, the RX 5500M looks to be better in every way. So yeah, that's all about this video, guys. Slightly disappointing, I know that, but this is how the situation is right now in 2022. The lack of GPUs overall, then the pricing is so high. It's an awful situation to be a budget conscious buyer. So maybe it's time to accept the reality that the price segment has shifted. What is considered budget is no longer budget. We have to increase our own budgets and to get better products. So that's all for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, then please consider subscribing. Comment down below your thoughts on the upcoming GPUs and what laptops you're excited for. Let's discuss in the comments. So yeah, that's all, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.